Well, we're excited to get on the road. Our teams tend to like to get on the road, and we do fairly well. So we enjoy getting to travel, be together. We use it as a team bonding thing as well. So to go out east, where recruiting has been really good for us, and to compete against two really good schools is something we're really looking forward to. And it's kind of the highlight of our first semester schedule. So this is something we've had circled. It's going to be a great event. They're putting on it's a professional deal. And we're just excited they invited us and ready to go wrestle the day after we leave the day after Thanksgiving.
Questions for Coach Bono?
So you leave the day after Thanksgiving. Obviously, it's a holiday where everybody eats. Do you have to remind your guys to hey, we got business to take care of first? Or
no,
how do you...
these guys are professionals. We'll work out Thursday morning. They'll get them. We'll have everybody. The team will come over to my house Thursday afternoon, and then it'll be good. It's these guys know Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's right in the middle of our season, so it's kind of that's what we deal with, and they understand it. They're professionals, and they know they got to make weight and perform at a high level. So we'll have some good food Thursday. We'll sit around the house, watch football, and then we'll get serious Friday morning when we take off.
Are you cooking, or who's doing the cooking?
Right? We're catering it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's a lot to cook for 40 of us.
Carly, you can go.
Anything you learned about your team through the first two matches this season?
Yeah, we've learned a lot. I've got 3 true freshmen in the lineup, never knowing what's going to happen with a freshman. So we've learned a ton. And we've scheduled our season perfect. We've kind of wrestled a week, and then we take a week off of competition. And so we've able to get back in the room and correct a lot of mistakes. And when you've got some young kids in your lineup, that's a big, big deal. You don't want them making the same mistake week in and week out. So we've corrected a lot of mistakes. What I've learned also about these guys is they're special. They're special people. And that's what's, this is the Coach Reeder and I said this the other day, this is the most fun we're having since we've been coaching. This group is a special group. They're fun to be around. Everybody enjoys each other, so we're really still getting to know them, but we know it's going to be a very, very special group.
Chris, to what degree is your lineup fluid, and where are you absolutely positively set?
I don't want to ever say I'm positively set because you're talking injuries and all that, but 133 is still up in the air. I'll let you know that. Kyle Berwick is a returning NCAA qualifier, and Ethan Rotundo is a guy that's filled in for us at a bunch of weights. We keep saying Ethan had a great summer, and he really did. He beat a bunch of All-Americans, qualified for the World Team Trials, and he beat Berwick in one of the ranking matches, I guess you could say. So he's been the guy the last 2 dual meets. We'll bring both of them along the trip, and it's always kind of a game time decision based on warm-ups and who we think the matchups are. But they're both still very much in the mix. Everybody else it looks like it's pretty much solidified with what we've got going forward, barring any injuries.
This event, 2 duels in a day, does that kind of maybe help get your guys ready for, Midlands in December and Big Tens and the NCAAs, just kind of a taste of that? Yeah,
you're gonna, when you get to the national tournament, to be a national champion, you got to win 2 matches on Thursday, 2 matches on Friday, 1 match on Saturday. So everything we do in our program is gearing us up for the national tournament. So, we did have that in mind. Hey, let's get 2 matches in the first semester in one day in a controlled setting. What I mean by controlled, it's not a tournament. We know who our opponents are. We know, we're able to scout them. We're able to really be ready to go out there. And so it does have something to do with getting ready for the national tournament, but not really focusing too much on that.
So do you, when you're, you don't have to give away the secrets or whatever for this event, but do you envision yourself maybe wrestling some guys against North Carolina and then not in the later duel? Or
no, we're bringing 15, so we're bringing 5 extra, but I envision barring 33, right? 33, we may go 1-1, we might go 2-0. I don't know what we're going to do there, but everybody else will go 2 matches, barring injury, we're going to put our best team out there. I've learned that in the past. I'm not leaving my best team in the wrestling room. We've done that the last 2 or 3 years with red shirt and Olympic red shirts and things like that. We're putting our best team out there every single time and getting those guys ready because the team that's going to wrestle in the Big Tens needs to be ready to go.
You kind of mentioned this before. You got the transfer guys, the freshmen, this mix of guys. How have they kind of grown together as one? Because you had a lot of different pieces from last year that are finally getting their chance in the room.
Yeah, it's been amazing. The transfers we brought in, Andrew McNally, Austin Gomez, it feels like they've been here for five years with all of us. They're well accepted. They're great kids. They get along with the team. You throw in that mix of true freshmen, and you got to remember, Joe Zargo and Braxton were basically here all last year training the RTC. The guys knew them. And then with DJ Hamidi, he came here as soon as he graduated high school, so he's been here a long time and, mixed in with those veterans that have been together. It is a great group. I said it before. They're all tight. They're all together. And it's, we're having a blast doing this thing together.
Chris, where you're going has long been a hotbed for wrestling recruits. A lot of good recruits come out of there. Is that the best? Is that the most fertile area in the country, or is there another one that stands out to you? Or boy, we need to go there. We need to go there every year. We need to have a presence there more so than any other place.
Yeah, it's a great area of wrestling. I don't think it's the hottest area in the country. But it is a hotbed. Everybody's in there recruiting. They've got great kids. We've had a lot of success going there. We've had a Johnny Sebastian. Now we got Joe Zargo, who is right from there. He'll be competing out there. He's going to have a couple hundred fans there, and it's a chance to showcase our program off. Right, we're going to go out there, every year, every other year, whatever, when we wrestle Rutgers. So it's a chance for us to showcase our program in front of a bunch of kids. So. It's unique, You want to go out there, you want to showcase your pro, but we're always going to have a presence out there. We do recruit a lot. We're going to be out there doing our thing, whether we're bringing our team or not. But this is a chance, for Joe to go home. It's a special deal for Joe, and I like to give that to kids. I always want to try to get to their hometowns. I try. It's very, very hard. But when you have an opportunity to do it, you don't want to turn it down. And to go out there, this is a really great event. It has a chance to really grow. It started off as maybe being a Big Ten versus ACC type deal. That's how it was presented. Obviously, that fell apart big time. And now we've got just 4 teams. But it was at one point it was going to be a big deal, and I believe it still is. I believe it's a crazy event. There's going to be some women's matches going on. I think there's some other wrestling that's going to be going on in the arena. So I want my guys to be a part of crazy, because the Big Ten and the national tournament, they're crazy when you walk into the arena, and I want them to feel like it's going to be home when we get to the end of the year.
Coach, can you, turning back the focus just a little bit to the Battle in the Bluffs, which was kind of celebrating Wisconsin and wrestling in the greater state. What were your thoughts about that? And also just what does it mean to have a wrestling room that has so many local wrestlers on our roster as well?
Yeah, it was great. That event was great. They did a great job of lacrosse hosting it. We really enjoyed it. It was great because 95% of those fans were Wisconsin fans that may never get to see University of Wisconsin wrestle. Our fans may never get to see a Division III match. So it was awesome. The environment was great. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep continuing to do it. Hopefully it's going to be here next year. We'll do it hopefully in the field house. We'll make it a crazy deal like the high school state dual meet thing is an amazing tournament to watch in there. And I think we can sell the place out, and it's going to be great. As far as having local products on our team, that's the foundation that we try to build our program around. We want Wisconsin kids. We want the local kids. And you have those kids, you have some success. It builds your program with the fan base, and the next thing you know, you're selling out arenas, and you're able to keep Wisconsin kids home, and it's a big deal.